Well, hello again, dear viewer. This is Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright. Or I guess it's Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I never remember which one is the subtitle and which one's the title. Anyway, last time we exposed Ms. Lotta Hart as the lake monster chasing wacko slash badass, depending on your POV, and managed to gain a small reprieve in the case of the murder of that guy. I've completely forgotten who the killed person was. Robert Hammond, right, was the name of the guy. The relevant part is, of course, that Edgeworth is the one suspected of the murder. What clinched it was the photo where the gunman... We could not make out the faces of the gunman, or the victim for that matter, interesting enough. But we could make out that the gunman was holding the gun when firing in the wrong hand, vis-a-vis the fingerprints found on the gun. So that's curious indeed. So this is one of those moments that I do like this game's pacing a lot, in some sense that in between these make or break trial sequences, which are cool, but boy do they raise your stress up, we get these investigation sequences that are, apart from, being variety, they're also a really nice way to just slow down things a little bit. It's a less stressful situation than the courtroom. We chatted up Maya, who I guess is now gonna be stuck in detention center after her stunt in the courtroom. So, okay, Maya, don't worry, we got this. We'll do this investigation ourselves. Now we gotta try and figure out what the heck went on at that lake, I guess, further than what we've done already. Now let's go back to the office first. We're not gonna be talking to Maya, so don't know what's gonna be going on down here. Something. Sure is quiet here with nobody around. Right. I have to get Maya out of that detention cell soon. That's his concern, is like, I can't stand the pounding silence of this room. I need somebody else here to annoy me. Looks like it's cleaning day again at the hotel across the way. I hear they're planning a second branch outside the city. I can see the bellboy getting the angle of that screwdriver in the drawer just right. I think we've already heard this. This game does make us, like, whenever there's a new day, they remove these check marks, but it doesn't seem like they update these discussions. Not necessarily every time, but, well, I'll just go through them just in case anyway. Mia's favorite plant. Its name is Charlie. Maya's gotten the knack of watering it lately. Charlie's been perking up these days. Good for ya, Charlie. Keep it up. Maya brought in a poster of the Steel Samurai the other day. We had a big fight over whether to put it up or not. I know she's just waiting for a chance to sneak it up on the wall. No, that doesn't sound too bad now, does it, Phoenix? We could totally have a Steel Samurai poster in here. It would be all hip with the times. Difficult-looking legal books stand in a formidable row. Oh, they mock me. I tried reading one, and it made my head hurt. When I closed it, it slipped out of my hand. Then my foot hurt, too. Okay, I do appreciate us doing these again, because I sort of remember that, but that was still so funny that it was just as good reading it for a second time. Like, oh yeah, that's really funny. Just him going, they mock me, is really good. Mia's desk. If we had more clients, I would probably sit here more often. Lately, I've been spending more time on the couch, watching TV. I see. So that's all there was to do here, really. I almost half suspected that some random critical to the case person would be here to see Phoenix. Now that Maya's gone, like somebody else would have been here. But that actually didn't happen. It seems like there was no real reason to be here. Oh well. Oh gosh, should I actually go to the lake last? I just realized, the other places seem a little less plot critical. There are fewer than there were yesterday, but the cops are still around in the park. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe is here today. Oh gosh, should I... Hold on, let's go back here. Yeah, should I swing by... I'm gonna swing by the Criminal Affairs in Grossberg before we go into the lake. I mean, for all I know, we will have to return to these places anyway, but let's just really quickly knock these out. Now that I think about it, I think this is better order to do them. Detective Gumshoe's not here.
Gumshoe's at the scene again today.
Huh? Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a live wire with that one. Got into a fight with the chief for not following protocol.
Not following protocol? I bet he wouldn't help them build the case against Edgeworth. Oh, Gumshoe, you silly guy. Oh my god, remember this weird-ass... What was this animal supposed to be? Hey, is that the police department's mascot? That's the blue badger! That's right, it was a blue badger. I remember this, this was so weird. It was my idea, I made it. It's my mascot. I see. How nice. I'll get him assigned mascot of the Criminal Affairs Department if it's the last thing I do. Good luck. Yeah, the police chief was super weird, wasn't he? A poster of a female police officer. Wait, no. That's the latest Babes in Uniform calendar. My bad. I remember that gag. This must be the chief of the detectives here. He's glued to his computer screen. Ah! Rook to bishop 7? Checkmate! I don't believe it. He must be playing chess on the computer. Okay, I think that changed. I remember him, like, reading something about tabloids the first time, reading online, like, weird, like, news rags, so, okay, now that he's doing chess, that's pretty funny. That's pretty good that changes. These are the detectives' desks. There are computers and files on each one. Funny, they're a lot tidier than I'd expect. I guess the detectives don't spend a lot of time at their desks. I guess so. And here's this other guy? That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself.
Don't do anything rash. Why jump? You have every reason to live.
He must be doing image training for talking down a potential suicide. And not doing a great job of it, I might add. Oh boy. Put a little bit more emotion in it, dude.
Yeah, whatever. Stick it up your crotch.
Okay, then let's go... Oh, we can't go to... That's odd. Let's go back to the office. See, from the office we can go to Grossberg, but we can't go from the Criminal Affairs Department. Curious, that. Oh, let's go here anyway. I'm gonna guess he's not here. Apparently, Mr. Grossberg is on vacation today. Well, I guess I can come back tomorrow if I need anything. Yeah, I knew it. Honestly, it's starting to look like some of these areas aren't necessary at this part of the case, but then for some reason they just don't remove them as choices of places to go to, which is a little odd. Like, don't really... Well, of course, I could be wrong and we end up coming to see Grossberg eventually. Sure. But, like, if we don't need it at all today, I don't know. I guess it doesn't ruin anything to have the option there, so, yeah. Expensive-looking mahogany bookshelves filled with expensive-looking books. Huh. Funny. They don't look like they've ever been read. Yeah, we kind of figured that. They're just there for show, I think. A solid mahogany desk. The wood's been polished to a deep luster. So is mahogany like really high-class woodworking material or something? They keep tossing the word mahogany when we're here in this high-end office, so I'm going to make the educated guess that mahogany is fancier than other woods for making furniture, but if you know, please confirm in the comments. As per usual, when I ask these confused questions, feel free to confirm or deny my train of thought, if you'd like. I guess Mr. Grossberg isn't getting that painting back. I feel kind of bad for him. Well, he was kind of complacent. But he was being blackmailed himself, so I don't know. An expensive potted plant. No idea what kind of plant it is, but it's probably the most expensive one available. Makes sense. A table for clients. An elegant ebony case, and if I'm not mistaken, that lighter's made of solid gold. Even I can tell someone here's got money to burn. Yep, that's about it. Alright. So, really, we could have just gone to that damn lake, but you know how it is, especially with me. I just feel like I need to check out all these loose ends. No, leave no stone unturned, as they say. I feel winter's chill from the bare leaf trees today. There's a lot of trees here. I guess that's why they call it a nature park. It's quite pretty when the cherry trees along the lakeside blossom in spring. Oh, shit, blossom was a verb there, not a noun. Let me give me another read on that. Give me another read on that, Chief. It's quite pretty when the cherry trees along the lakeside blossom in spring. That was a little better than me going lakeside blossom, like a complete idiot. What the hell is a lakeside blossom? Well, I guess it's a flower at the lakeside in bloom, so I guess it's not completely pointless, but that was a verb. Today, it's just cold. That seems like a bit of a Japanism again, but I'm gonna assume Los Angeles has like a cherry tree park somewhere in it. I mean, shit, we have one here in Finland, in Helsinki, there's a cherry tree park, so I can't imagine LA wouldn't have one, so it's not like, you know, that odd. I think I'm just saying that I don't know if that's the first thing that would come to mind to an LA person in spring, to be like, let's go watch cherry blossoms. I could be entirely wrong on that. Feel free to write in if you're an LA person and you know that cherry tree culture is super big in Los Angeles. And then, you know, cool. That'll be me corrected. A sign says Gourd Lake Nature Park. This place is full of families picnicking on the weekend. It's a little cold for picnicking these days, though. Yeah, it is dead of winter. Alright, so nothing's happening here, so... Right, we go here and then there's a split. We can go to the boat rental and then we can go to the camp where Lada was. I'm thinking we're gonna go to the camp first and then go to the boat rental. Law of narrative, whatever the heck, tells me that since the boat rental wasn't important in the previous day, but, you know, it still is an option, surely we're going to have to go there at some point, so it's probably on this day. They could surprise me, and they might save it for the last day of investigations. They could super surprise me and have us end the case on this day rather than the final one, but I really doubt that one. We'll see. Haven't seen Larry around today at all. Probably off paying through the nose on a date with the lovely Cayenne Sea. If someone could explain to me what the story behind the name Cayenne Sea is, like what is the... It's such a curious name that I feel like it's not picked out randomly, just a generic name, but I don't know what the like significance of it could be. Cayenne Sea. Beyonce? I mean, it sounds a bit like Beyonce, but we'll see if we ever see Cayenne Sea, if she looks like Beyonce. Of course, I'm not sure I know what Beyonce looks like, so I'm not sure I could identify. If you put up a picture of Bayo, I'd be like, I don't know, some celebrity, I'm gonna guess. Now that I think about it, so this probably won't work out if we see Cayenne Sea. I'm gonna just be like, okay, here's just this, you know, generic, good-looking lady, and it's like an obvious Beyonce reference, and everyone in the comment section is gonna be like, you idiot! And I'm just gonna go, anyway. A hot dog stand. It's closed. The Christmas fringe looks a little half-baked. The banner reads Samurai Dogs. Somebody needs to redecorate. Oh, he did a fine job, I'd say. Our friend Larry. No clues here. I missed the bench. A lineup of plastic benches. I guess the idea is you buy a dog and eat it here. I doubt anyone would sit here and eat on a day like this. Except maybe Maya, if she had a samurai dog. Yeah, no, I feel like she would, like, run around while eating it. I don't think she'd be one for sitting still. The trash can is empty. At least the place is well maintained. Yeah. Oh no, that's the lake. See, it's not the tree. Well, let's look at the lake. The famous Gourd Lake. Its green waters stretch out on both sides. It's a pretty big lake, really. Good observations. Hey, a sign. Cool. Huh. I almost didn't see that signpost. Left, boat docks. Right, exit. What a curious little detail. You know, such a minor thing, and it just isn't really that important to anything, but okay then. Alright, looks like we're done here at the concession stand, so yeah, this is what I'm saying. I feel like the boat rental's gonna be important, so let's go to the woods first. This might also be important, but I really got this inkling like this time boat rental's gonna be the relevant place. Ooh! There he is, of course. I mean, they did say that he was here. Hey, Detective Gumshoe! Hey, pal! The trial today, Yes? What about the trial? Well, I was gonna say a good show, but it wasn't really all that. Though you did save Mr. Edgeworth, I guess. I just wasn't sure how to thank you, you know? Thanks. Aw man, that's so good to have Gumshoe here. The trees grow quite thick here. Further back, the trees fade into the shadow where the sunlight can't reach them. Sounds like a place the Jersey Devil might hide in, but then we'd need to be on the East Coast, so never mind. I don't think Lotta takes very good care of her SUV. It's covered with dents. I can't believe anyone would drive their car down here. I remember being confused by this. They talked about all the dents, but this is a really pristine-looking car in the game's art. I wonder why she brought a camping cooker with her. There's a convenience store right up the street. I guess she wanted to get into the outdoor spirit. Yeah, that seems like the thing. She seems like very, like, kind of kind of folksy. I feel maybe that's just stereotyping because she's got that southern vibe, but I don't know. She seems like the kind of person who digs being out roughing it, so to speak. There's food and some magazines on the sheet. It takes a pretty tough skin to camp in this cold. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The sign says no camping. Funny place to pick to pitch your tent. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. That's like super... Gumshoe, arrest this person! They clearly didn't read the no camping sign. Lotta's camera is staring out at the lake, as usual. Even a novice like me can tell that camera must cost a pretty penny. I hope she doesn't leave it out here to get stolen. Oh yeah, that would be a problem, I suppose. It's not secured in any very good way. It's just sitting here. Good point. Let's slide back over here. And which one? Let's talk first, yeah. Detective Gumshoe? Any idea what strategy Von Karma is planning for tomorrow? It sounds like he's bringing in another witness. Another witness? Oh, right. He said something about that in a trial today.
There were 2 witnesses.
Yeah, we talked about this a long time ago, about the other witness. I've been wondering about who they are this whole time. That's, okay, yeah, now again, me trying to guess the plot. I'm guessing the other witness is gonna be at the boat rentals, you know? Seems like it's about time we got to know them. It would be a little strange if they tossed a witness without us getting to interact with them first. The only time they did that was with the very first case where there was no investigation before the trial, so, yeah. I was wondering who that other witness was. Who was it?
Sorry, pal. As much as I'd like to, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information.
Right. Well, at least you're being a good cop, so good on ya, I guess. Oh, right. I wanted to ask you something about Edgeworth.
What's up?
Is he afraid of earthquakes? I've never heard anything about that before.
Mr. Edgeworth doesn't talk about it himself too much, see? But there's one thing that's clear as day. Him hating crime the way he does, and him becoming a prosecutor, and him being scared of earthquakes. It all started with that incident.
The DL6 incident? Right, the one where, reminder, someone killed his dad, and the current murder victim, Robert Hammond, let the suspect walk, like got him acquitted, and Maya and Mia's mother, Misty Faye, was basically tarnished. What? I can't think of the right word. Like made a laughing stock of. Like embarrassed with her psychic detective stuff. Ooh, speaking of, I'll try to, if there's a good moment, I'll try to bring up some pointless trivia real quickly that I just today learned. But we'll see.
Yep, that's the one. 15 years ago, when he saw his father shot before his very eyes. He still feels the pain now. You can see it in his eyes.
Poor guy. Let's talk about Maya Fey. I wanted to talk to you about Maya Fey.
Huh? She's not out on bail yet? That's strange. I told them to let her go as soon as they had their report written up. Man, I don't know what would have happened in that courtroom today if it weren't for her. Seeing her getting dragged out by the bailiff? I'll be honest with you, pal. I shed a tear or two. Mr. Edgeworth, he was so moved I saw his lip trembling.
Really? Cold as ice Edgeworth?
He was really grateful for what she did, you know.
I remember when he was trying to, say thank you to Maya, but he just did it in a really awkward, I'm too proud to say that way. Oh, I remember that. That was really cute.
Now I'm gonna head back to the station. I'll get the report on Maya and get her out of there as soon as I can.
Thank you. Oh, wait. I was wondering, how much is bail going to be?
Don't worry about that. Mr. Edgeworth is posting the whole amount.
What? Edgeworth?
Didn't I tell you? He's grateful to her for what she did.
Now that is a great play from Edgeworth. That's so cool.
All right, pal. Well, don't forget to go pick her up, okay?
Maybe I can get Edgeworth to pay this month's rent, too. Funny. I mean, you just charge him for your lawyer fees. And that's it done, then. Wow, so... Actually, I shouldn't have not shown the items to Gumshoe. I should have shown them, because now he's gone. Well, maybe we'll find him back at the precinct. Let's go to the boat rental shop at last, see if anything happens. I'm curious now. Looks like the boat rental shop is closed today, too. Wow, nothing happened here. Oh my goodness. Alright then, you played me, game. You played me. I was confident, and you called my bluff, I guess. Wow. There's more forest off that way. I doubt I'd find any helpful clues in there. Guess not. Maybe we have to go get Maya first, then come back here, then something will happen? Maybe I should stop trying to guess what's gonna happen, because I'm clearly barking up the wrong tree half the time. A small boat rental shop. Doesn't look like anyone is around. They're probably closed because of the murder. No, actually, because it's Christmas Day. No, now it's 26th, but, it's still around Christmas. It's Boxing Day. Do you guys celebrate Boxing Day in America, American viewers? They probably don't really care about that in Japan, but America? I don't know. I can't remember Boxing Day being really a thing, but... There are some boats floating at the dock. The murder took place in a boat from this dock. Apparently, the police took away the actual boat that was used that night. Indeed, there's space for one more boat at the dock. Really, it must be off-screen because I can't see it. Makes sense. It's a crime scene, basically. It needs to be sent to forensics. Okay, I promised some quick trivia, and this is really just completely super tiny trivia. Kind of minor, maybe not worth the effort, but I'll just throw it down really quickly. I was shocked to learn about a medium called Fae today. Like, I don't think the Fae family is named that because of this real-life Fae, because it's such a minor, obscure story. I really don't know if the localization team knew about it. Honestly, it might just be Fae is like mystical. Fae is fairy, Fae folk, mystical, magical. They might just be called the Fae family because of that, since they've got this whole psychic vibe to them. That might be why they're called that. But I did learn about a medium, supposed medium, called Faye Gilmore. Now, this relates to a true crime case, so I'm feeling a little conflicted about bringing this up, but, I guess I consumed that shit already, so I guess I'm already, in some sense, culpable. And this one's a pretty old case now, but still, within living memory old, not turbo old. It was a case in the 70s. A guy called Gary Gilmore was a person convicted for 2 murders in Utah, I believe. And the weird thing is that he specifically requested the death penalty. That was the interesting thing. He actually wanted to go down for... Once he was caught, he did try to... I think he tried to plead insanity at first, but at some point he flipped around and actually requested the death penalty, which was granted to him by firing squad, no less. I learned about this today by listening to the Astonishing Legends podcast, which I heartily recommend. They don't really do true crime so much as they do paranormal stuff, which I've said that I really like. I think I misspoke about being into conspiracy stuff in an early episode. Conspiracy stuff is even more than true crime stuff. The modern day conspiracy stuff seems real kind of anti-intellectual, kind of really scary, believing. It's really dangerous to believe in conspiracy things at the moment. So I don't really want to say I'm into that stuff more than just paranormal things. But I can't deny that that whole genre does brush up to conspiracies, especially when it comes to aliens and whatnot. And it's not there aren't some classic conspiracy stories that aren't fascinating. But I don't want to really profile myself as a conspiracy guy, because that has some really bad connotations that I don't really like myself either. I don't really support a lot of the conspiracy movement at the current day. It's actually really, really bad. Anyway, look, the point I'm saying is, so this podcast is mainly paranormal, and they actually did an episode on Ouija boards recently. They did 2 episodes, one of which was just stories involving the Ouija board, where this Gary Gilmore thing came up tangentially. So yeah, like I said, murderer, he killed 2 people. His mother, Bessie Gilmore, actually blamed paranormal influence that may have driven his son to murder. She cited, first of all, in her childhood, she played with a Ouija board, which she feels may have invited some sort of otherworldly entity into her life. This is why it was in this Astonishing Legends episode. Go listen to it. It was a pretty good episode. I liked it a lot. Even though I kind of think Ouija boards are kind of dumb myself, but the stories were pretty good. Pretty good spooky stories. So yes, Mrs. Gilmore, Bessie Gilmore, had played with Ouija boards in her childhood. Later on, she met her mother-in-law, who was called Faye Gilmore, who was a self-professed medium. And she, like... I don't remember the exact like order of events, but Faye Gilmore like had a seance at where Bessie was living at some point, and Bessie claims that after that she was like accosted by what she claimed looked like a demonic entity later that night, and also Faye Gilmore was walking around like she was in a trance or something, and also it looked like Gary was being accosted by the same inhuman being. That was when the story got really wild, as you can tell. And Mrs. Gilmore attributes her son's rash of crime to the influence of this entity. Now, that sounds like a grief-stricken mother not being able to cope with her son being a murderer. Unfortunately, that's where my rational mind goes to as the explanation. That she's desperate to come up with any explanation than her mother being... her son being a murderer, you know. I can't really account for that tale of her encountering a demon at night. Okay, you got me there, fans of the paranormal. I can't really think of anything at the moment, except the obvious one, which is she's making stuff up, or she's gone hysterical from having her son executed. But I feel kind of bad, like, putting that blame on her, so I'll just leave that be. You got me. I don't know how to explain that story. But the whole, it was demons that made him kill, like, that sounds like a grieving mother searching for an explanation to kind of excoriate. That's not the right word. Like kind of absolve her son. Anyway, I was so fascinated hearing that story. Like, oh my god, there's a medium called Faye in this story that's about like a murder happening. That's so fascinating. Like I said, that's such an obscure story. I really don't know if it has anything to do with the localization team naming these characters the Fays in this game, but I thought it was a fun story. I thought again, it involves real murder, so fun is a little relative here, but interesting story of the paranormal and of true crime. I thought it was worth just me tossing that out here in this episode real quick, like. Go check out the Astonishing Legends episode, like I said. The Ouija board stories are pretty good. Even if you don't believe in them, they're just good as ghost stories, I thought, myself. Yeah. Anyway,